Today, I'll be ranking every season of Fortnite. I'll be ranking them based on how fun I had while playing that season and what had me during that season. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe with the bell so you miss never awesome videos. If you have any clips that you would like us to react to through Xbox, and we'll react to them in a later video. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into the video. So since I didn't play in seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4, I won't be breaking down how much fun I had because obviously I didn't play, but how the game did and what other people had. Like if other people had a good time, then that would be ranking higher on my list, but if no one had a good time, it would be lower on my list. So to start off everything, we have season 1. Now I know season 1 definitely is very nostalgic for people, but the only problems with this season was it's pretty basic, and obviously I don't expect it to have a lot of things to it since it is brand new. But the season was pretty buggy. There was a lot of issues with it, and it just didn't really go very good. But we did see some new things coming out this season, like the item shop, and with that we saw some rare skins like the Renegade Raid, which is always cool now because whenever you see one of those people, you know they're OG. But season 1, of course, very nostalgic, but it was pretty basic and it was kind of buggy. So for that, I'm going to put this season at A tier, but still a very good season and a very nostalgic for a lot of people. After that, we got season 2. Now, I always love when Fortnite is around Christmas time, and this season was. So that's always a good thing for me. So we got season 2 and Christmas time with the whole nice background and everything. So this season, very fun, I heard, and a lot of new things came out, like Tilted and the stadium. And Tilted, definitely one of the best places to ever be added to this game. You know, everyone loves Tilted. Just such a good place, so many people land there. But this season, of course, pretty basic, just kind of like season 1 again. But it definitely was still very fun, and Christmas made it a lot better. So after season 2, we got season 3. This season we got one new POI, which is Lucky Landing, which definitely wasn't one of the best POIs, but it was good. We got new guns like the Deagle. We got the hunting rifle, which is definitely one of the best snipers in my opinion. I had a lot of fun with that gun. Then we got the guided missile, which was also another fun gun. People were able to rocket ride themselves, and I know people had a lot of good times with that. Then we got the clingers. Now in my opinion, I prefer clingers over grenades, because I think that being able to stick people is definitely more helpful than just letting the nade bounce around, so people could actually escape. So clingers, another good addition to the game. Then we also saw the vending machines come in, which at the time they used to cost mats instead of actually gold, because during this time there wasn't any gold. So I think that the vending machines were good, but I know a lot of people didn't use them because they were expensive and no one really had that many mats. We also saw the llamas come into the game, and at this time there were only 3 llamas in the game instead of 5. And the llamas used to actually be really good. They would drop you a lot of mats. So definitely llamas were very helpful in the game, and finding one used to be so special at that time. It was always so fun. Then we got Fortnite Mobile, which was definitely a smart idea by Epic Games. Got a lot more people playing the game. If someone didn't have a PlayStation, Xbox, or PC, they could download Fortnite on their phone and be able to play with their friends. Fortnite Mobile definitely got Fortnite a lot more recognition, and a lot more people started playing the game because it's more popular now. So for all those things, I'm going to have to put season 3 at S tier because it was just a very good season. I know a lot of people had a lot more fun, and the game definitely got a lot more popular at this time. So that is why I put it that high on my list. Next, we got season 4, which the map got hit by a meteor, and that meteor caused Dusty Divot. Now Dusty Divot wasn't one of the best places, because it was on low ground, but it was a fun place to land at, and I like that place a lot. We also do get the hot drops because of that, which is very helpful for movement, and they were also just fun to use anyway. We got some new items like the jetpack, which I thought very nice. It was fun to use, but it was a legendary, so it was kind of hard to get. We got the bouncers, which were helpful for movement. I know a lot of people use them for trick shots as well. So the bouncer, definitely a very solid trap. I like that trap a lot. Then we got the first vehicle, which was a shopping cart. A shopping cart definitely wasn't one of the best vehicles in the game, but it was always fun to use. You know, you and your friend could just hop in and just push each other around. It's definitely one of the best. We also got the Thanos game mode, which I think was actually very cool with Marvel and Fortnite to cross over. I didn't play this game mode, but I heard that it was a lot of fun. I know a lot of people loved it, and it actually looks very fun. But of course, like I said, I didn't play it, so I don't really know. Now, I didn't go to the rocket event, but I did see a video on it, and it looked very interesting. It looked fun, and the rocket just flew up into the sky and caused a rift in the sky. So that was, I think, very cool, and I really like that. But other than that, I'm going to have to put the season at S tier because it just was very fun and just a solid season. Definitely going to go higher on the list. So I just started playing again in season 5, and I think season 5 is the most fun I ever had at Fortnite. In this season we got some new locations like Lazy Link, Paradise Palms, and Viking Village, which I had a lot of fun at all those locations. We got some new things like rifts, And rifts, I think, were very helpful for movement. If you ever trapped and needed to get somewhere quick, you can just take a rift and you were gone. We also got some toys, which toys were pretty useless, but they were a pretty cool addition to the battle pass. We did things like the shockwave grenade, which was very helpful for getting out of somewhere quickly, or was also very helpful for movement. And we did get the P90, which the P90 was very, very OP. Like, this gun could shred someone. So the P90, definitely very OP. We did get another vehicle, which was the ATK. Just like the shopping cart, ATK wasn't special, but you could drive it instead of pushing it. So that was also very nice, definitely better than the shopping cart. We got the getaway game mode, introduced the grappler to the game, and the grappler was actually very helpful. Not like the getaway game mode, I thought it was a fun game mode. This season we also saw the Galaxy skin come in, so if you had Fortnite on a Samsung and you played Fortnite on the Samsung, and you were able to get the Galaxy skin for free. Then we saw Kevin the Cube, which would later go into Loot Lake, leading us into Season 6. But, in my opinion, I think that Season 5, definitely an S+ tier. I really enjoyed this season, and it's the most fun I ever had. And with Kevin the Cube going to Loot Lake, we get Season 6. And in this season, Loot Lake was actually flying. And yes, Loot Lake was flying in the air. And it flew around all the map, causing the runes. And the runes, you can get the Shadow Stones, which the Shadow Stones allow people to phase through stuff. Now, those weren't very good. They were usually out of the game for a lot of time. But when they were in the game, they were fun, and people like phased into places where no one really could. So definitely I like the Shadow Stones. Then we got another vehicle, which is the Quad Crasher. And the Quad Crasher was actually really fun. Definitely probably one of the best vehicles we ever saw. With the Quad Crasher, you could fly around the map by using the boost. And you were able to just ram into people and do a lot of damage. We also got zombies in the game. And with the zombies, we got the 6-shooter. And this 6-shooter is probably the worst gun in the game. It just had horrible aim and everything else sucked about it, like its damage. But the zombies themselves were very annoying. I didn't like the zombies personally. I know some people did, but I definitely didn't. I hated them. We also got the dynamite, which the dynamite was not very good. It had no range, but it did a lot of damage. But you just weren't able to reach anyone with them. It sucked. Then we got the AK. Now the AK back then was actually very good. It did a lot of damage. It had good bloom. But now the AK sucks. But back then, it was a very good item. And we also got the turrets. Now these turrets were actually very OP. When they first came out, they had so much HP to break, and you couldn't even snipe someone in the head. If you went right up in front of the turret and tried shooting at their head, it probably wouldn't even hit them. It'd probably hit the turret. So the turret on day one was very broken. Then we got the butterfly event. Now in this event, nothing really happened that much. But what happened is Kevin the Cube blew up, and you went to like this different reality. And a butterfly flew by you, and you touched the butterfly, and then Loot Lake turned into Leaky Lake, and then that was really it. That's all it did. But other than that thing though, Season 6, in my opinion, I think I'm going to put it at A tier. It was a fun season. I had a fun time during the season. So now we go into Season 7 with the iceberg. And the iceberg did destroy Greasy, but we did get Polar Peak, Frosty Flight, and Happy Hamlet. Now we did get the planes, and the planes on day 1 were very OP. Like, someone could just fly right through your builds and knock you off and kill you from fall damage. So the planes, day 1, very OP. Now this season we also saw the wraps. And the wraps, I think, were very cool because you could put them on your gun and made your gun not boring. We also got presents in the game. We also got more guns, like the suppressed sniper, which I think definitely wasn't a very good sniper because it had low damage, but otherwise it was a good sniper, and if you found it, it wasn't bad. Then we got glider redeploy, which I think was one of the best consumables, because if you took it, and with the planes knocking off your builds, if you got knocked off, you would just redeploy your glider and just fly safely down. So I really like glider redeploy and would always take it when I found it. We also got snowmen, which were useless. No one really used them. As well, we got the chiller grenade, another thing that no one used. Just wasn't as good as like any impulse or shockwave grenade. I would never take chiller grenade. Then we got probably the worst item in Fortnite, which was the bottle rockets. These were just so useless and they did no damage. You would never even hit someone with these things. They sucked. But we did get the infantry rifle. Now on day 1 when the infantry rifle first came out, it was actually very hard to use because you had to like lead your shots with it because the bullet wouldn't go straight. It would kind of like curve and dive down like a sniper almost. So the infantry rifle was just so hard to use, but it later got fixed. It was just like any normal gun. Now we got probably one of the best things that happened to the game and one of the worst things that happened to the game, which were creative. Now the reason I think creative was probably one of the worst things to do was because when it came out, it was very fun, people really liked it. But what creative allowed people to do was people could just go in there and just practice like building and aiming and just get better at the game very fast. Now of course people are going to get better at the game, but creative just made that happen way too quick and people just got so good at the game, it just wasn't fun anymore. That's why I think creative could be one of the worst things to happen to this game. It's one of the best things to happen to this game, was because if you ever got bored of the game, You could just go in creative with your friends, and you can all just have a good time playing. So I think creative, definitely one of the best and worst things to happen to this game. Then later in the season was the Ice King event. This event was cool, I didn't see it though. But what happened was the Ice King, he made the map all foggy and zombies came back. And I think the aftermath of that event was just very annoying. I hated the zombies, I hated the fog. So I definitely don't think that event was very good, and it just kind of was annoying. Definitely an S+ tier. I really enjoyed this season. So now we go into season 8. Now what's cool about season 8 was that the battle pass was actually free. So if you did the overtime challenges from season 7, you're able to get season 8 for free and it didn't cost you any money. In the season we got some new locations like Lazy Lagoon, the volcano, and Sunny Steps. And around the map they added the geysers, so you were able to launch up in the air and fly. We got a new vehicle, which is the cannon. You were able to launch yourself around. Another vehicle that was added was the baller. Now the baller, I think, was a very good vehicle, but I know it kind of got annoying competitive because some people were able to just bounce around and they just sat in the baller all game and got some easy money. We got some new weapons like the flintlock and the boombow. The boombow could be kind of annoying sometimes, getting tagged for 100, but the flintlock on the other hand was such a fun one to use, and I really liked the flintlock. In the battle pass they had the Kong emote. Now the Kong emote was the first emote that was traversal, so you were able to move around while you were doing it. This season also had some things added like the reboot van. The reboot van, definitely one of the best things to happen. You know, if you died and you got finished, you're able to get rebooted by your friend and brought back into the game. So for Avengers Endgame coming out, we got the Avengers game mode. I really liked this game mode. I had a fun time playing it. You were able to use like Captain America's shield and other things like that. So the Avengers game mode is definitely a very fun game mode. We got the Vaulting event, which you were able to go into the vault and decide what gun you wanted out. And sadly, most people chose the drum gun, which is very OP, so the drum gun came back. Other than that though, I had a great time playing this season, so I'm going to put it at S tier. After that we got season 9, which this season was futuristic. We got some new locations like Neo Tilted, Mega Mall, and Pressure Plant. And when the season first came out, it removed the pump and added the combat into the game. I thought the combat was a very good shotgun, I really liked the combat. They also added the TAC AR, and the reason these guns were added to the game was for the new John Wick movie that came out. And with the movie we got also the game mode, so everyone was in a suit and you would just run around killing people and just getting coins and trying to be the first one to the certain amount of coins. We also got some new items like the loot drones. So what would happen is there were certain locations that had the loot drones flying around and you could shoot down these drones to get a gun from them. We also have the storm flip, so you're able to switch around the storm. So if you're in the storm, it would turn dry. If you were in like just the normal area, it would turn a random place into the storm. And now we probably got one of the best heals added to the game, which is the Chug Splash. With this, you would throw it on the ground, get 20 HP. A very good heal. I would always take these. Definitely one of the best we had in the game. This season we got the legendary and purple tack. Very good guns. Definitely one of the best shotguns to be added. And this was actually very important because when the pump was gone, most people switched over to the tack instead of the combat. So when the legendary tack came out, a lot of people liked that because they didn't like the combat. Then we got probably one of the worst things you could throw down, which was the airstrike. The airstrike just wasn't very good because it was legendary, so it was hard to find. You would throw it down and it would cause like a missile launched on someone, which when you hear it, it sounds good, but when you use it, it really isn't that good because you can never really hit someone. Plus people could just run out of the circle and they wouldn't even get hit. So after last season, we got the volcano event and the vaulting event, which actually cracked Polar Peak, and inside Polar Peak was the monster. So the monster came out of the Polar Peak and then the robot came out. So the robot and monster fought, and when they fought, the robot won. And this would later lead into Season X. But I'm going to have to put this season at B tier, because personally I just didn't really have that much fun playing it. So it really wasn't that good, but it wasn't really that bad, so I wouldn't put it lower on my list. So definitely going to be average, so I'm going to put a B tier in the middle of the list. Now we go into Season 10. Now in this season, the meteor actually came back. Instead of hitting the ground, it was actually just hovering over the air. We also got Dusty Depot back. And what happened this season was since the 0 point was exposed, it started leeching out to other places and turning them to different places. So one of those places was Borderlands. So we got the Borderlands crossover. We got Pandora. We also got Tilted Town, which you cannot build there, and I like that a lot. We also got a new type of greasy, where it was like a taco time, and you would get health from doing the taco emote. This season we also did get the Batman crossover. So we got Gotham City and a couple Batman skins. Now another item that we got that was actually horrible was the mechs. These mechs, when they first came out, were so overpowered. They had 10 missiles and a shotgun, and if you saw someone and you were inside that mech, it was a win no matter what. It could absolutely just shred people. Even the worst player in the game could get like a 20 kill game just from sitting in the mech. That's how OP it was. And at the end of the season we got the Black Hole event. that sucked in the whole map and the game shut down for a few days. But other than that though, I'm going to rank the season at F tier because I feel like it just wasn't very good at all and just had a lot of issues with it and it lasted for a long time. And that event would lead us into Chapter 2, Season 1. Now this season we actually got a lot of new things, and one of those new things was the new map actually. So we got a brand new map, and I really liked the map. I thought the map was really cool when it came out. We also got the bandage bazooka. Now this item actually took up 2 inventory slots instead of 1, so that was a new thing that we never saw before. This season they also added fishing into the game, which I really like this, a whole new mechanic. You can fish out guns, you can get actual fish for heals. You can also fish out the goldfish, the mythic goldfish. And I really like this because there's like a 1 in a million chance of even getting it. And when you hit someone with it, it was an instant kill no matter how much HP they had. So I really like the addition of the mythic goldfish. This season we also saw the high five emote come out. And it was the first 2-person emote, so you could actually do this emote with someone else. So although all this stuff was very fun, the only downside to this season was that it lasted way too long and we just didn't have any updates. But in the middle of the season we get the Star Wars. And the event itself was pretty bad. It was just kind of boring. But after the event we got the lightsabers, and I really like the lightsabers. I like the addition of like how you could block the bullets, and I thought it was really fun, the lightsabers. The fact that it was just so long and they had no updates, definitely gonna bring it down on my list. If it did kind of end sooner, it definitely would be higher. But for right now I'm just gonna put it at C tier. Now we got Chapter 2. Now this season I think was very good. It had a lot of good POIs and we got new guns as well. We got the new mythics actually. And the mythics were the mythic drum gun, the mythic minigun, the mythic boom bow, the mythic scar, and mythic grappler. Now the mythic drum gun and mythic minigun were very OP. Like they were some of the best guns that ever come to this game. You could absolutely beam people. And as well in this time as well, aim assist was very OP. So if you got one of these guns, you could just beam people and use like a free win every time you got one of these things. So all of these were very good. We got the mythic bow as well. The mythic scar that had a faster firing rate, did more damage as well. And the mythic grappler with infinite shots. This season we also got some POIs like the agency, the grotto, the shark, the yacht, which are all very good POIs. This season we also did game of movement, like the helicopters. And the helicopters I think were very helpful because you can just fly around, and flying is always easier than walking or driving. So you can get over more places quickly. I really like the helicopters. I think they're a good addition. This season as well we also got some new things in the battle pass. So one of those things was the Maya skin, where you could actually customize the skin yourself. It was the first time we ever saw any of that. So what happened is you would unlock certain styles in the battle pass and you could pick out what like hat you wanted her to wear, her hairstyle, her clothes. So that was very cool. A lot of people to do whatever they wanted with that skin. As well as we also got the shadow versus ghost. So it would give each skin 2 styles and you got to choose which one you wanted for that skin. In this battle pass as well we got Deadpool. So it was a Marvel crossover and he was the secret skin. Deadpool would take over the yacht. Did kind of do him dirty with those pistols though. They really sucked. Probably one of the worst mythics. Later in the season as well we got the Travis Scott event. Definitely one of the best concerts compared to Marshmello and Ariana Grande. This concert was just so cool. We got to see a lot of the old things. Like I remember you flew over the old map and that was very cool. I really liked that a lot. So this event, definitely one of the best concerts, maybe one of the best events that we had. And as well as events, we also had the device event later in the season that would make the storm turn into water. And because of the storm turning into water, later flood the map in season 3 of chapter 2. But other than that though, a really good season. Definitely gonna have to rank high on my list, so I'm gonna put this at A tier. I really enjoyed this season and had a lot of fun with it. So now we have chapter 2, season 3. Now this season, the map actually flooded because of the storm last season where it turned to water. And with that we got some new locations like the Fortillo, Caddy Corner, and the Authority. Now each of these places each had their own mythics. We got the mythic drum gun again, but this time it got nerfed. It has slower fire rate. We got a mythic AUG. Then we had the mythic chug jug that was infinite uses, so you could just constantly keep getting all the 200 HP. We had a mythic charge shotgun. We also did get marauders this season. I thought the marauders, they were pretty annoying, but you did get some good loot from them, and I liked them just for that. Otherwise they sucked. Later in the season we also got Coral Castle, which was kind of Aquaman's place. But this place was just very disappointing because every time we're going to get like a big Atlantis. And then Coral just came and there was no mythic there, nothing happened there. We also got Aquaman in the battle pass, our first DC secret skin. Definitely a cool one. I like how they incorporated him with the map flooding as well. Later in the season we also got cars. I really like the cars. I think they were very helpful for movement. And I like how you could ram into people and stuff. That was very fun. So overall, I think that season 3 of chapter 2 is a very good season. I want to put it at B tier. It also did have some downsides, like when the map flooded, it kind of was annoying sometimes as well. We also had sharks that kept biting at you. Next is Chapter 2, Season 4. Now this season was a whole Marvel crossover. We got like Iron Man, Wolverine, some other ones as well. We also got some new POIs like Doom's Domain. We also got Stark Industries. Then we got some minor locations like Ant-Man and Black Panther. Now this season, instead of getting mythic guns, we got like mythic abilities. So some of those would be like Groot's Ball that would heal you up, Stark's Repulsors. We got Iron Man's Uni Beam. That were all really cool. That were I like how they were different than normal guns. So this season was definitely very fun. At the end of the season, we got the Galactus event. Now this event, I feel, was very cool, but the end was very disappointing because we all thought the Galactus was going to do something to the map, like maybe destroy half of it. But at the end, he just kind of fell into a rift and nothing happened. So I thought that event was very disappointing. But other than that, though, I'm going to have to place Season 4 at S tier because I just had a very fun time during this season. Definitely one of the best Chapter 2 seasons, in my opinion. Now we go into one of the more worst Chapter 2 seasons. So Chapter 2 Season 5. We got Colossal Coliseum, Stealthy Stronghold. Stealthy Stronghold was okay. I never really landed there. Again, you couldn't break any of the walls. I didn't really like that much. Hunter's Haven. Nah, I never really landed in Hunter's Haven. I kind of thought it was more irrelevant. It was kind of a place that I would just go by if I landed lazy or something. Now I got probably one of the better places of this season, which is Salty Towers. It was a mix between Salty and Tilted Towers. I liked how they brought it back without even bringing back the full place, so they kind of kept Salty there. The part that ruined it though was definitely the sand. I hated the sand a lot this season. This season we also had a lot of crossovers. We got a lot of gaming crossovers, things from movies as well. The only issue I had with those is they did too many and it just kind of ruined the season. We did also get the Mandalorian as well, and with him we got his sniper rifle. I like the sniper rifle. We also got the jetpack, but I don't think the jetpack was that good. And for the secret skin we also got Predator. Now I like how they incorporated Predator, which we also had the Xenomorph from Alien. So I thought it was very cool how both of those were in the same. Other than that though, I thought the season was just kind of bad and boring, and I didn't like the sand that much. I thought the map pretty much was pretty bad. So I'm gonna put the season at C tier. Just not enough to put it at F tier. I think it still had some good parts about it, but it's definitely not gonna go any higher on my list. Now we go into probably the worst Chapter 2 season in my opinion, so Chapter 2 Season 6. Like I said, probably the worst Chapter 2 season. We did get crafting, and I thought crafting was kind of cool on the first day, but as it kept playing, it felt more annoying. Just how people could get better guns than you because they like farmed up more, found more like supplies than you. So I really didn't like crafting that much. I thought it was kind of rigged and I hated it. This season we got the primal guns and the mechanical guns, so they switched up the guns, of course, for the crafting system. And I didn't really like the primal guns. They had bad bloom and bad damage, and same with the makeshift guns. None of those were really good. I would just normally stick with normal guns, like just the normal AR and pump. You got the animals. I like the animals a lot. I feel like the wolves and like the raptors were really annoying because they would chase you, but I didn't mind like the boars and the chickens because the chickens could kind of help for movement. But the raptors, the wolves, they got annoying when multiple would come at you and you were in a fight and you started getting nipped by them. We did get some new locations in this season. So we got Colossal Crofts, which is Colossal Coliseum, but it just kind of went, of course, primal because that's what the season was. And it just kind of got all the trees around it and it's broken down. We also got bows this season. Now I really hated the bows because someone could just craft a certain bow and it'd be annoying. Like the mechanical explosive bow was annoying and the shockwave bow really sucked because you just get shockwave constantly back and forth. I really hated those things, but I didn't mind like the stink bow and something like that. I thought those were okay. I'm gonna have to place this season at F tier. I just really hated it. It was long and boring and it really sucked. The map sucked. Everything about it was just bad. And that will lead us into this season, Chapter 2 Season 7. Now, so far, I think this season is pretty decent. I have any good time on it. I'm not having any bad time on it, but it's nothing good as well. Now, when the UFOs first came out, they were OP. You couldn't hit them. It only had a tiny hitbox, and they could just constantly throw balls at you. But they did nerf them, and now they're fine now. So I'm definitely okay with that. In my opinion, I really have fun going on the mothership, but of course, they keep bringing down the abductors, and it just kind of gets really annoying sometimes. But when they are in the game, I have a great time with them. This season we also got the Ferrari crossover, so they added Ferraris to the game, and there are some extra skins that go with them. I really liked how they did that. I thought that was cool. We got some new guns like the railgun and the Chimera's ray gun, the pulse rifle, which is like the Stark rifle, but it's kind of worse in my opinion. I'll take the Stark rifle over that. And we got the recon scanner, which I really like that. I think it's really helpful. Again, some new locations. I think the only really new location is Corny Complex here. Other than that, it's just satellite places, and it's not really that good. We also did see the Ariana Grande concert. Now, I think this concert was actually really cool. I really enjoyed it. but I don't think it was as good compared to Travis Scott. And the ending was pretty disappointing. She didn't do a single thing to the map. She didn't do anything. So I didn't really like the end of that concert, but I thought that everything else was very good. Oh, in the middle of the season, we also did see the alien parasites that will attach onto your head. Now I find them very annoying. You know, if you're just running by and then you see that like little egg split open and then a whole parasite just gets stuck in your head, it can be really annoying sometimes. But there are some ways to get it off, like going in water. And you can also use the inflatable cow or bull. And I really like that thing. I mean, it can help for movement, but other than that though, it's pretty bad. But I'm going to rank this season at A tier because I'm having a fun time on this season. It's not bad, and I'm just having a good time on this season. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Also, if you want to see more videos like this, let us know in the comments down below. I will see you guys in the next video.